So, Maya, I'd love to. This film has been with you for so long. You've cultivated this film. You've taken it across the country, across the world. I'm curious. In the viewing of this film, do you still spot things you are like, oh, I forgot that was in it, or anything that keeps you just a little bit surprised about your own film? I'm always curious with so many screenings, how does that impact the way you view your film now?
Well, I've been able to watch the movie about 18 times so far with an audience. And I guess what I find surprising is the things that people laugh at that I didn't think would get a laugh out loud, So I think I'm finding that it's just like finding new ways that the audience reacts, and it's almost always different. And there was one time at a film festival where it was a huge audience, maybe like 200 people, and I was really surprised that there was like one line in the movie where the girlfriend is talking about, a guy who cares about something or takes care of something other than himself is attractive, and that line, someone burst into applause, and then the whole entire theater burst into applause, and that was amazing, and it's never happened anywhere else. But that it really makes that screening and that event just stand out in my mind, and I always remember it, and I think the people there will remember it. I mean, that was just an incredible reaction, just unexpected.
Do you get submissions of people with their cats wanting to be like, hey, can you tell my story? Is there any crossover in that?
Surprisingly, no, but I do see comments or have people, I do notice some comments where people are like, they're kind of offended that they weren't considered, and it's like, well, I've never even heard of you. There's no reason you really be offended, but they're like, yeah, they make funny comments like that. Definitely people share pictures of their cats with me. Nobody yet has offered like, hey, can I be in your next one or something like that. But I actually would like to maybe do something similar to this, if not a sequel, because of COVID, we actually didn't get to film in some places that I wanted to. So we were actually supposed to film in the UK and some other places, and then of course that couldn't happen. So I wouldn't mind if we could do like a spin-off or something in it, like Cat Daddies UK or Cat Daddies Australia or something like that, because we just didn't get to do that this first time around.
What was that experience like filming in that type of environment, and how did that impact the shoot and what you guys had to do, to get this made even?
Yeah, I think you had to make really difficult choices. I think everyone during that time who was in the middle of making a movie was just sort of, do we just pause or do we keep moving forward? What do we do? Because at the time we didn't know how long this would last. But we were also a little bit under the pressure of David and Lucky's situation, and we really wanted the movie to help him. And we knew that there was a sense of urgency to finish the movie. And so we were determined and just sort of focused on that. So we didn't wait it out. We just kept going with it. Sometimes we were waiting in the wings, trying to figure out, how do we get to the East Coast? There's quarantines, all these things. We ended up shooting a lot of the movie just one-man band. My DP happened to be on the East Coast when we needed shots there, and so he would just go and do everything, and then I would just be on the phone and just did it that way. I'm sure a lot of filmmakers kind of did similar things, but I think in the end we got what we needed. It was, the right thing to do.
As far as the festival circuit and being able to showcase it in many different venues, different audiences, and knowing your background with being a part of the creation of a festival, knowing what a festival entails, How has this last year and a half been for you personally, seeing all the different ways people run their festivals, and your film has been a constant at so many different places? I mean, we kind of joke about it. We see you everywhere, Mye. It's like, how much do you get from this circuit? How important is it? And how difficult is it to some aspects on a business level trying to maybe take the next step with a film, because not everyone gets to see films at a festival, sadly?
Yeah, well, first, it's been a lot of fun, and boy, I was in a pretty sad place in 2021 and submitting to festivals and not knowing if I would get to see it with an audience. So many festivals were turning virtual or whatnot, and I really honestly made this for the big screen. If I had known that it wouldn't have a chance, I would not have made this film, period. Like, we already have a lot of content on the internet, for cat lovers. I made this movie because, like, I remember seeing movies like Keddy and movies that I love like that really get a response out of the audience. And I remember the memory of just that feeling, that really of just being in a magical, of just being in the magical audience and just feeling all that. And I that's why I made the movie. So I was determined to get it into theaters somehow, and getting out into film festivals, because I know kind of like that's where the word of mouth will start, and that's where we can kind of build on that. It's also a good litmus test, like, if it is doing well at the festivals, people are coming out, they're talking about it, then I can kind of gauge, okay, well, does this have legs or not? Should we do theatrical or not? And so that's one of the great things about festivals, is very helpful for their filmmaker. And honestly, like, I think it's crucial for filmmaking, especially if you're starting out, because it's watching it with an audience that helps you kind of hone your craft, and you just have to keep doing it. And I just think that it's going to be, if we don't have that for filmmakers, it's going to be difficult.
I'd love for you to talk more about the catscape of films. There are a lot out there, but I don't know many that are about the connection to their owner as your film is. Can you talk a bit about just the connection of this film to the audience in that sense, and that it isn't just, seeing a funny cat video. It's a heartfelt look at some really beautiful relationships we get to meet. I love that part of the film, that there is, it's a film about connection as much as it is, cats and daddies and all that. Yeah,
well, all the men, they have something in common, is that they're all very different, but all of them, their lives have changed because of their cat. Whether it's Instagram celebrity, or whether it's kind of like it creates business opportunities for them, or it becomes a creative outlet for them, like the trucker that learns how to, do photography. It all changed them. It just opened up their lives in a different way. And that's kind of what I saw. I really went into it just sort of like, just with very vague idea what I wanted. And I figured I'd find what the movie is really about along the way. And that's what happened, because we weren't predicting that a pandemic would happen. We weren't predicting that, one of my characters would be diagnosed with cancer. There's so many things that happen in the movie. It's just life. It's just that's the way it happens that's what happens when you make a documentary film. The story will just write itself and change in different ways that you don't expect. So I kind of knew that was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to be so drastic as it came to be, but yeah, we just sort of kind of like leaned into it and just tried to make it work, for our story as best as possible. But yeah, I think there's such a human element to it, more than just being about cats. And I've heard from a lot of people that it makes them reflect on so many of our issues in our society. And I've had so many women tell me that, especially with all that's been going on lately with all the shootings that have been going on, it's like it was so refreshing for them to see men in a different way, and that that this makes us think about, do we really need all of this aggression, in our world? And, I hope that my movie helps convey ideas about how, it's okay for men, to be tough and vulnerable, that it's okay for them to be into cats. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. We need a more compassion and empathy in our world, and there's a lot of things that pets can teach us, right? On how to sort of be more patient and be more, respectful and of space, and there's just so many things that that they can teach us. And not only that, but during a pandemic where we can't really sometimes be with our family or our loved ones. So I know, in just personally in my own home, like, the cats have been really, really helpful for us to kind of keep our sanity. So there's so many things going on in the movie that's not just about cats, but it's also about all these connections that the cats, are helping people make.
How has this documentary process, impacted you and Dave in the way you approach what will come down the line, what projects you hope to do, what projects will eventually get to? How has this impacted you as filmmakers?
We hope that this is actually probably most remarkable thing we've ever done. Just the sheer amount of different people that are interested in this has been overwhelming. We knew that was going to be the case, but if you compare it to like the past projects we've done, like there really is an interest, almost like there is like a fanship building around the movie. And I get fan mail from, I love getting fan mail from children, like young men, showing me pictures of their cats. I mean, I feel like this has just opened up a whole new world of connections with people that we've never been connected to. And cat people are the best. Cat people are often the most generous, most, just friendly and open and just supportive people. So I just think, wow, we're such in good company. Like, these cat people, they're just like, they're like us, and they're so supportive, and they and it's been different in that way. It's really opened up. I think it will continue to open up a lot of doors for us. And we actually have other projects that have been in development that are a little bit cat related. So even like, I can't say what they are exactly, but it definitely, I think it's a theme in in our work. And I think it just makes the work more fun if we can, add cats into as an element. So yeah, I think, I don't think this is the end of it. I think it may be just the beginning of something. So.
Y'all become the cat people making team. That would be great. We were talking about earlier about marketing on a different side of it. You're marketing out to the fans. You've gone out of your way to reward your fans by, bringing gifts, bringing awards to screenings, and letting people interact with you on another level that isn't always seen in people showcasing their films. I mean, there's a difference between a quick picture here or there and a cat lover coming and talking to you. I've seen how people interact with you. How has that feeling been? And you obviously embraced it. How rewarding has this experience been, seeing the love that has come from a film that I don't know if you guys knew how big this and crazy this would get?
I mean, yeah, it's been so rewarding, and it's been kind of like how we feel about the movie has just been kind of up and down, because not everybody gets it, obviously. So, but the people we made it for, they get it, and they are supporting, and they're coming out and they're telling their friends about it. So I'm so grateful for that, and I just love, the thing that keeps driving me is like, I started a film festival, and I remember back on those days, and I used to go to a lot of film festivals, and I just remember all the swag, all the marketing, and all that stuff that makes it extra exciting or extra special, or some kind of it makes some kind of emotional impression. And so it's something I can't help, quite honestly. I don't know why. I just get these ideas. So like, okay, I'm gonna pass out cat treats, and I'm gonna, pass out. I can get like really cheap cat toys on Amazon, and I can ask, cat brands if they can donate product that we can give out to the audience. Because there's like all these little things. Does it add up? Like, I don't know, but I'm having fun doing it. So if it makes people talk about it, make them happy, make them share pictures of the event, it does take so much more to get people to leave their house now. And I knew that. I knew it's going to be tough, right, to get people to come to the screening. So I want to offer as much as I can, not just a Q&A, but like, doing giveaways and creating prizes, and we have it all. And it's very easy with cats. It's just very easy to market that and, find little things to give people to remember you by. So that's all it is. It's just, I get all these ideas from the old film festival days. 'Cause, that's what people want. They want like a good memory, a good event. There's just nothing quite like it. So I do everything I can to make things, worthy of a photograph. I make like a gold kitty, or I make 5 different poster designs, one for each cat dad or whatever. I mean, like whatever it takes to make it stand out, because there is just so much out there, right? That people have to, sort through and figure out, well, what do I want to see? So it's a lot of work. I think luckily we've been around the block and we've done this a few times. So this isn't like my, in a way, it's my first feature documentary, but it's not like my first movie. So I just feel like, we've been around this many times, and also just the whole fun factor. And, if it's fun for you to do something like this, then you can't lose.
Well, I must admit, I don't keep many things from festivals, but I still have one of these little Japanese fans that I got at one of the AFFDs. So your work has been impacting me on my festival run for a long time now. So thank you for that. Maya, I'd love to know, just for you personally, what's, I mean, obviously you can't share too much about what's down the line, but what are you hoping to accomplish the next, couple of years, and hopefully when Dave gets back from his adventure in Japan, what are you guys striving to do next?
While he's in Japan, I'm actually trying to launch a project in Japan, so I'm hoping to do something cat related there, because obviously there's a lot of cat lovers in Japan, and there's a lot of extra cute cats in Japan. So that's something I'm interested in doing in the next year or so. And then I think Cat Daddies is kind of my baby for a while, and I'm actually planning to self-release it theatrically before it hits VOD. Like I said, I made this for the big screen, so we just want to keep it on screens as long as possible for people to enjoy. I mean, there are people like me who want to see these cats larger than life, and some of these cats have a huge social media following, so I'm sure the fans will want to come out and support. Because once it's over, it's over. I mean, we can, it'll be on streaming or whatever forever, but there's only now, there's only a finite amount of time that we can get it, onto screen so that, cat lovers can gather and be together. And, sometimes we do adoption events, and we do cat food drives for the rescues. We try all kinds of things, right, to make it more than just going to a movie. And for a lot of people, it just feels like an event that, and some of these rescues can engage with their volunteers and constituents, especially after being at home for so long. So they've been really, really, grateful, and they have embraced coming out to the shows.
Mye, thank you, and I wish you the best on this journey. It's been a pleasure to see the film go to many places, and we always implore people, if you want a good doc to see, this is one of them. So thank you.
Thanks, guys. So good to be here.